What lie do you repeatedly tell yourself? I'll wake up early tomorrow. And I'll get to bed earlier tomorrow. That's what I tell myself every time before I do a 3-inch line of cocaine. That way you go to bed at 5 AM and accomplish your goal of going to bed early. You'll remember that, no need to write it down. Ugh. This one is the worst for me. Right, sit down, I'll definitely remember now. 8 hours later, looks at hand. Ahhhh HIT. I forget where I put the paper I wrote it down on. Need to write down where I placed the paper with the thing I wrote down that I needed to remember. I can't keep track of paper. Better put a reminder on my phone. Why is this thing beeping incessantly? Oh, hooray for poor memory. Just one more video before bed. I used to stay up way too late, and I realized that looking at screens was the problem. It was a vicious cycle of feeling awake and staying up later using the computer. The thing that saved me was getting some blue light filter glasses for looking at screens. Maybe it's a placebo and they don't really do anything, but I swear I can watch all the rubber ducky porn I want before bed and have no problem going to sleep as soon as I want afterwards. Maybe some live rubby ducky porn would be easier on the eyes for an extended period of time. Don't get me wrong, the live stuff is great too. However, there are still plenty of times you don't have time or energy. Sometimes you have to just load up between the cheeks too, scene 3 for the 1000th time, and get some quick stress relief. I'm not procrastinating. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Can't start something unless it's on the 5 or 10 or quarter hour or absolutely. What sort of monster starts a project at 17 or on a Tuesday or in 2019 or in their school career or 10 minutes before break? I'll lose weight. I'll start eating salads for lunch and running tomorrow. Tomorrow always brings stress, pasta and wine. I've addressed this by tackling one problem at a time. I picked the gym as the easier behavior change. Now I go 5 to 6 days a week each week after I started going again in mid-December. After losing about 30 pounds, now the gains are stalling and I'll have to address the diet issue. However, my gym habit is now established. If I tried doing both at once, I'm sure I would failed like the times before. If you had to pick one though, diet is far more effective / important. I just wasn't happy with my activity level. I needed to read this. For the past month and a half I've been trying to tackle both the diet and the exercise issue, and failing because it's too much of a change to manage. Keep up the good work though, happy for you. Just remember, diet is to lose weight, and exercise is to look great. I'm over her, I'm good to move on. Gets text from her at 11 PM on a Friday night. Oh shit, here we go again. Home. At least it was, before I fucked everything up. I've got time. Not only do I have no idea how much actual time I have left, each moment that passes, I have even less. Mr. Incredible taught me that I don't have time. As someone who works in an industry with nothing but deadlines, I feel very seen right now. Time is relative. Enjoy it. I remember reading some quote or stat that you only have to tell a lie willfully like 3 times before you yourself start believing it, and I remember thinking, well, that's a load of garbage. Fast forward to the present. I'm wearing a boot and crutches after a heel injury. I was on a group trip and we were playing some game where you had to stomp on balloons tied to other team's legs to eliminate them from the game. I went for a balloon while another team's player went for the same balloon, and I wound up with my foot power driven into the floor, heel first, resulting in multiple fractures to the heel bone. Well, at least, that's what I told everyone. Truth is that I was trying to stomp a balloon but it popped out of the way as I was stomping it, glancing below, and I just drove the heel into the ground myself. No other foot stomping me down. That didn't make for as cool a story, and after the first almost reflexive lie of, oh yeah, someone stomped my heel down, that's why I'm limping, I just had to roll with the fake story for the rest of the trip. People would ask me repeatedly, and I'd always tell the same story. Somewhere in the twisting fury of stomps, I had my foot driven into the ground by a wayward opponent. Tough luck. Back home from the trip, I was talking with my orthopedic surgeon who was remarking it's a really unusual thing to have a heel fracture in this way after you just stomped the ground, and I told him, oh no, it was actually another person who stomped my heel into the floor, so there was more force than just me. It wasn't until I was leaving his office that I had a moment of realization that wasn't the truth, but I had told it to a doctor privately as though it was. I didn't bend the truth to save face or seem tougher to my doctor. The lie had just become so rote that I'd fallen back on it automatically, even to a medical professional. In the moment, that was the experience I was remembering in my head, and it had never actually happened at all whatsoever. Definitely one of those moments that makes you reflect on how honest you really are. If I could lie about that reflexively and not even realize it, could I be lying to myself about other things equally as unaware? This has happened to me too a few times. I got a ticket for driving on expired tags. It was my birthday, 20th, and I didn't know tags expired the first day of the month of your day. For some reason I didn't want my friends/family knowing about it. So I lied about it and said I got a ticket for running a red light, and it got mailed to me. I swore I made it, and those damned cameras got me. I eventually went to traffic court, and I got it dropped, and didn't have to pay anything. Years passed and I told it a few more times for some reason, until it became the only ticket I ever got was. It wasn't until I got pulled over for driving a suspicious vehicle, TL. Doctor, my car looked like a local drug dealer's car, and chatting with the officer I said something along the lines of the only ticket I've ever had was running a red light, that I swear I made. Damn cameras. And the cop who'd already run all my info said, "Oh, news to me. I don't see any previous issues." He laughs and I laugh. Then I remember that it wasn't a real story and the charges were dropped. Felt like a moron. I'll clean my apartment in an hour, I swear. Also, I'll go to bed at a reasonable time tonight. What's awesome for this is do one thing while a commercial plays. That 2 minutes, if you're US of A, adds up. Pick up detritus and put it in the trash. Find a home for that thing you want to keep, etc. 2 minutes, one stupid thing. My acne will go away. It's genetic though. I kept saying shit like that a decade ago when I had acne. Said duck it and hit it with a dose of accutants. Hit's a miracle drug 11/10 would recommend. My crush likes me back. Oof. Ouch. My bones. But then again she may also hate everything about me because she hasn't texted me in like 30 minutes. What goes around comes around. People will get what they deserve. Seriously, I like to believe karma will get them eventually or something when people do shitty things, but chances are they'll be able to continue being shitty without issue. The only karma we can influence is our own. Wasting time thinking about negative people getting their comeuppance is exactly what we shouldn't do. Ultimately, the path to enlightenment is alleviation of our own suffering. Thinking about shitty people ultimately just means we're focused on our own suffering. Deletes text to ex about how she'll fall for someone that makes her feel undeserving of their love. That everything is okay and it'll end up fine. God, do I relate to this? I hope you're okay though. If you're not, that's okay too. I'm sending virtual hugs your way. Thanks for that. Honestly, one of the best things you can tell yourself. It's like the act like you belong, and eventually you will. Continued actions and mentality, forced or not, will become habit. For better or for worse. As long as you continue to tell yourself everything is okay and will end up fine, and you are actually acting like that's true, that is working or actively looking for work, and trying to stay healthy and maintain what you enjoy vs spending your time drinking waiting for something to come your way, you'll wake up one day and realize that everything is working out and you are truly okay. Tomorrow I'll wake up early and go to the gym. I just go to the gym after work, so I don't have to wake up early. Then there is a bajillion people there. I've been working out in the mornings, because I'm by myself. I don't gotta bother with people watching my fat ass work out, or talk to me, or acknowledge me. It's peaceful and quiet, just myself, whatever I'm watching/listening to, and the treadmill. Everything will turn out okay. It will be, my friend. Keep on punching. Everything will turn out KO. It's just a fart, and I'm only imagining it felt wet, and everyone can't smell it. Especially that person in the queue behind me. They probably have no nose. In the history of all humans that have ever queued, this must have happened at least once. It happened to the guy in line in front of me at a Walgreens about a year ago. Unfortunately, I did have a nose. /. I'm gonna be able to move past living paycheck to paycheck soon. Bonus, when I move away again I won't let others keep me dragged down. Really wanna believe that one. Honey, the reason they can drag you down is because you're not seeing how much higher you are in the first place. The only way to pull a balloon is by the string, but the helium inside is always fighting against it. Thank you. Next move is coming in a couple months. I just wanna do better this time.